It's taken 10 years, but Billericay are in the Barclays Premier League. I was going to do a big overblown introduction, big fireworks. I was going to do the whole Super Sunday ticket thing. I've just smacked my mic. Obviously, because of copyright, I couldn't take the Super Sunday theme tune. So I thought I'd treat you all to the I never stop this thing. I will never let you go. I know you're impressed. We're in the top tier, baby. Bring it on. There it is, viewers. Clear as day. Billericay Town are in the Premier League. We're on the table without the editor. Magic. Look at it. Yeah, if you look at the season preview, bottom. Can you believe it? No one has given us a chance of staying up. I'm not giving us a chance of staying up either, to be fair. However, there have been many ins and outs over the summer. This bit's going to get a bit emotional because we've had to say goodbye to a lot of players. A lot of players that have been here a long time. Okay, so I'm going to try and go chronologically. First up is Will Tizard, who we obviously brought in on a free, if memory serves, all those years ago. He spent 4 seasons with us and played pretty well, had one really good sort of standout season, or 2 standout seasons, while we were in League One and the first season in the Championship. However, then kind of got taken over by Gebby and obviously by Okoro. Fell a little bit out, obviously wanted to kind of move on and find himself something else. We've managed to sell him on to Leyton Orient for $325,000. He's still a very good Sky Bet Championship player, but that's all he is. I'm not that sad to miss him. He's caused me a lot of pain over the last few years or so at some points. Andy Shepherd, if you guys remember Andy Shepherd, yes, he was still here, but not anymore. He has gone to Charlton for £500,000. Obviously had a few seasons with us, not as many as Will. He was only here for 3 of them, and then obviously one of them he actually got loaned out to, so he didn't really play that much. Having looked at that average rating, maybe I should have kept him last year. Okay, this is where it gets a little bit upsetting. First up, of the 2 players that we've had to sell, Morgan Whittaker. Morgan has gone for £2.1 million. But what a career at Billericay the man had. He got, for me, he never played at less than a 7. Nearly always hit double figures in goals and assists every year. His involvement was incredible. He had one brilliant season here. You can tell when we were in our first season of the Championship, helped us stay in it, really. 11 goals, 22 assists, 6 player of the matches. Even the season before that, 14 and 8. Even last season, 7 and 10. He's been an absolute stalwart. We brought him in on a free from Preston. One of the best signings that we made. I managed to sell him on for $2.1 million to Middlesbrough. I have no doubt he'll do well there, but I looked at his attributes and in the cold light of day, not a Premier League player. It's literally that simple. It's also worth knowing that Rob Burns has left as well on a free, but he's not the one I'm really upset about, because the other one I'm really upset about is Marku Pirvu. This looks like a mistake. Actually, just looking at his attributes, it looks like a mistake. Marku Pirvu, I love. I absolutely adore him. He's a brilliant footballer. He was brilliant for me for 2 seasons or so. But that second season, where he had a bit of a dip off at the end, kind of made me think, I don't know if he's going to be good enough at that level. To have got him on a free and to then sell him on for £4 million, which is something we really needed to bring in some of the other quality that we've got, I think was a necessity. It's gutting, because even though he's not been with us long, he is one of my favourite players, and I'm going to miss him. Our 2 normal wingers have both been sold, so who's coming instead? We'll start with the cheapest ones and work way up from there. And for this guy to be quite cheap, yeah, I got him on a free. Papa Boop. Hang on, he might have to be called Hansen. Yeah, there you go, much better. So Papa Hansen, or Papa Umbup, as we're going to start calling him, or whatever we want to call him, got him on a free. Wow. 19-year-old Spanish goalkeeper. Got him from Cadiz He's a very, very good goalkeeper. You can tell by the just look at his history here. He doesn't concede that many in the way of goals. He always plays at quite a high level. Playing at a 7.39, okay, in any capacity for a goalkeeper is nuts. All right, that's like literally playing at like a 9 every game for an outfield player. He might be on number 1. I don't know. His passing's not very good. His first touch is awful. He's going to be crap on the deck, I think is probably the best way of putting it. He's 6'1", so he might be a little bit small for a goalkeeper, but at 19, he might still have a little bit of room to grow. Potential was through the roof, and the most important thing is he's got him on free, and you know what that means. If we do need to sell him on, look at the valuation. We could gain 23 to 33 million pounds. Remember, I had 27 million pounds to spend in this window. We still picked up a lot of really good players on the cheap. Other good news is that Yuta Suzuki has joined, but actually has joined properly. He had a brilliant season for us last year. I say brilliant. Everyone else is going, not too sure. 6.95 in a defensive midfielder position. It's pretty good. He scored goal of the season as well in the one game that he did have, or the one goal that he did score. Got him for 350k, which I think is pretty decent from Arsenal. He's got all the attributes that I think you need to be quite decent at this level. And you can say the same for Mr. Amika Okoro. Yes, finally. I brought the big man in. He is arrived, and I got him for overall £5 million, upfront 2 million, £3 million in instalments. There's been a lot of instalments made over the window. Obviously, he's not very quick, but we all know what we're getting with Amika. Incredible mentals, decent technicals, alright physicals. He's an absolute lad, and I love him. I love Italian in the save. I give you Dario Flaccadori. He is Italian winger on the left. Not quite Morgan Whittaker, but not quite as bad. He's got more kind of important attributes where they're needed. So he's a lot quicker. He's got really good agility. He's very good with dribbling at 14. Crossing at 13 is good. Passing and etc. could use a little bit of work. That will come in time. He's still only 23. Capped at under 20 level. So he's obviously got a bit of potential. The more important thing was that he was only 325k. I needed 245,000. I needed an extra body to get into that midfield. I still think he's got a lot of room to grow. Not the best signing, but a decent squad player. This one I am a little bit pleased with, and that is Aaron Phillips. So Aaron Phillips is a player that I managed to bring in from Sheffield United. £2.5 million is what I paid for him. Again, 1 million up front, 1.5 million in instalments. Mentally, very good. Physically, very, very, very good. 6'1" as well. Probably going forward, not quite as good as Kane Wilson, but I don't know how often we're going to have the chance to really kind of get our wing-backs up the pitch at this sort of light level. So my thing was, can I find someone that's a little bit more of a defensive stalwart, maybe a little bit, someone I can trust a bit more at the back? This is the man. He's not been capped for Wales yet, but I'd be amazed if he didn't during his time. He's still got plenty of potential, even at the age of 24. I think over the next few years, we're hopefully going to see him in his prime. But Aaron Phillips, I think, is a decent signing. Along with Papa Hansen, I thought we needed, obviously, a bit of an upgrade. Jack Butland has also gone as well, I forgot to mention. He's been moved on. His contract ran out and someone else has picked him up, I don't know who. Which means that Owen Nolan becomes our brand new #1 goalkeeper. I'm actually now, in hindsight, not sure if he's as good as Papa Hansen. I think that overall he's better. But he's 6 foot as well, so he's actually a bit smaller than Hansen. This is going to be an interesting dynamic throughout the series, or throughout the rest of it. Played for Nottingham Forest, played pretty well for them last year, got conceded 56 in 50 games, which isn't too bad. I paid £8 million for him, again, instalments, we'll go on to that later. But not a bad player, like I said, if you're paying anywhere near that sort of 6.9, 6.8 bracket as a goalkeeper, you're pretty decent on the game. If you're 7s, you're unreal. Or you're really, really overworked. And coming from the Championship, I thought one of the best things we could do was go back and get the Championship Player of the Year, provided they weren't in one of the teams that got promoted. Raymond John was that man. He put in a brilliant performance against us, actually on Canberra, when we took on Nottingham Forest and drew 0-0. So I thought, you know what, bring him in, and I'm glad he will probably be the partner to Mikero Okoro in the centre of our defence. Physically, he's an absolute tank. He's 6'4", he's quick, he's powerful, he's strong, he can jump in the air for days. Mentals are pretty good. Anything that lets him down a little bit maybe is the leadership, and the work rate is not brilliant. Having said that, though, technicals are pretty much where you want them to be for where he is. 14 heading, 12 tackling, 12 passing, 12 marking, not great. He will improve. He's only 24 years old. A bit of a late bloomer, never actually played at any of the youth levels for England. But I think for £8.5 million, or £8.75 million, not too bad. You can look at the attributes here. When he's played consistently for a team, He's very, very good. Another man who's going to be very important in that is another 24-year-old who has actually been capped at under 21 level, and that is Michael Edmonds. Can play anywhere across the back. He's tall. He's physically brilliant. He's mentally insanely good. Look at all those double figures. Look at the 15s in there. Technically could do with a little bit of work. The 8 heading is a concern. I will be working on that. Don't you worry about that. But he does feel a bit more like a solid option than Collazo, especially if I'm needing to have a bit more of an aerial presence or a bit more of a physical presence. This is the man I'm going to bring in. There is a chance that we could start playing free at the back this season. If there is, he is going to be probably the third centre-back. Looks really, really good. Bought in for £9.5 million in from Reading. Like you said, he had a very good season last year as well. Got 2 goals, 3 assists, so obviously carries a little bit of a threat as well. He's a very good player. I'm excited to have him on board. We've got 4 more signings, and these are all potentially game-changing ones. Okay, so number 1 is Chris Lamb. Now, Chris Lamb looks, very debonair, although he is... Yeah, okay. I'm going to put it out there. I got him for free. I got this for free from Manchester United. He scored 11 goals in his career in 29 appearances in Sunderland. Never played for Man United, which seems a bit of a waste. He's 23 years old. He's got 2 under-21 caps in... 2 under-21 goals and 10 caps. Could be a bit better, I won't lie. But they could have been, some appearances, we don't know. Either way, physically brilliant, mentally pretty decent, technically good where he needs to be as well. Will he score goals at this level? The pace to me says yes. I really think he could be a bit of a live wire, especially if I get him playing in the winger on the right-hand side. If I can get him playing that role, the role that Pirvu used to play, I think we could be in real business here because he's going to trouble any defenders just for being a sheer physical powerhouse. I'm excited about Chris Lamb. Right, now the other 3, it's a bit of a mix. I might be going 2 up top this year. You can probably tell the amount of strikers I bought. This isn't even the best one. Fabio Silva. We'll all know him from Wolves, and some of you will know that I had him during my Arsenal save on Football Manager a few years back, which everyone loved. He became a bit of a cult hero for me. I fell a bit in love with him. He's obviously grown a lot since at the start of the game. His mentals are a lot better. He's physically pretty still well-rounded. And technically, very gifted footballer. His goal record is not bad. Could be a bit better. Didn't score as many as I thought he would in the Championship last year. Only 12 and 17. So he's starting to pick up a little bit more in the Championship last year. I think he's going to score a lot more goals for us because we create chances in the dozen. 9 times out of 10. Just need someone to finish him off. So there's 2 left. One of them is a sentimental signing. The other one is someone I'm incredibly excited to have at the club. And he's my first wonder kid that I think I've really fallen in love with. I mean, there's a few that we've had that have been really good, but he is different mustard. I'll show you in a second. But before that, I couldn't help myself. Barry's back! I can't believe it! That's right, Barry McDonnell is back in a Billericay shirt. The return of the king. Well, not really. What a man, eh? After we had all those things. Remember, for us, brilliant he was. He got, what is it? I'm trying to calculate it now. For us, he got 32 goals, and these are only league goals. 32 league goals in 56 games, which is pretty good, to be fair. Pretty good. I signed him for £2.1 million. I just couldn't help myself. I don't know why Charlton loaned him out. I mean, it's unreal. He's such a good player. We had to get him back. Barry McDonnell is back in a Billericay shirt. What's not to love about that? Everyone get excited. I'm excited. He's better than he was, and he's still got so much potential. But this man is the reason I am thinking we may even be able to stay up this season in the Premier League. Welcome, Marcel Juric. Now, Marcel Juric, just drink it in. I could look at it for days. The mentals are, the physicals are, and the technicals, again, very, very good. He's 19 years old, capped at German under-21 level, and you're thinking, he must have cost you a shed load. Do you want to know how much? This might actually be one of the reasons why I like him, because I am a cheap date. He is £625,000. £625,000 for this. Bayer Leverkusen I've absolutely mugged them off. I'm so excited. Honestly, I have no idea how excited I am to play Marcel Juric. It's going to be insane. Cannot wait. And so that is it. That is the big old transfer overhaul. It's been a busy window. I've had to say goodbye to some very good friends. And it's been real. Like, really real. And a little bit upsetting. But the most important thing then is that we get stuck into our first game of the season, which is going to be against, I mean, we've got so many to pick from. It's against Bournemouth. There's no pressure on us. We're not expected to go through and win anything or to stay up comfortably or anything like that. That's not what we're here for. But I have a sneaking suspicion we can. I genuinely think there's a chance. Yeah, it's taken me a little while to pick this team, but this is how we're looking at the moment then. So, I mean, yeah, crikey. Okay, it's a little bit changed. Nolan's in goal. Collazo, Gebbie and Okoro stay as part of the back four. But then we've got Phillips playing on that right hand side. I'm going to play him in the wing-back role going forward, see how he gets on. Shabai now drops into the ball-winning midfielder role with Juric joining Powell in the middle. It's so exciting. Jean-Baptiste on the left. I've realised I've not really got a lot of cover on the left-hand side. Now I've sold Whittaker, which seems a bit foolish on my part. Lamb is going to be on the right. Lamb! Then he's on the right, and we've got Fernando Luiz leading the line up front. So glad to have him back, because he is pretty much where all the goals are going to come from. Bournemouth are predicted to finish just above the relegation places. So if we can beat them, it's going to be a big, big step in the right direction for us. If we can kind of go away to the Vitality and get something, that'd be brilliant. Oh! Before I forget, can't believe I nearly forgot. I am now icon status. Yeah, in the Billericay thing. And more importantly, this chap, John Newman. Yes, he writes okay songs and has a really annoying voice. But he's also going to be the man that our new stadium is named after. That's right, viewers. We've been gifted a new stadium. Not gifted. There are plans for us to have a new stadium because our old one did not fulfil Premier League regulations, which means at the moment we're playing at Laurie Cunningham Park in London. I don't even know who owns it. Who is it? Leyton Orient apparently own Laurie Cunningham Park. We're sharing with them at present. They've got one of 17,000. Our brand new stadium is going to have a capacity of about 15,500, nearly 16,000 people, which is nearly doubling what the new lodge originally was. So, all change, all new. It's a brand new beginning. It's going to be really interesting to see it. Oh my god, this looks dangerous. Miles on the edge of the box. Is he going to whip this in? We're 1-0 down. Oh, and Nolan had absolutely no chance. That's a pretty decent free kick. How good is he? Oh, Christ. Well, that's just shit. I was hoping that we might be able to kind of, imprint our game on them. Maybe get an early goal. Go off the feel-good feeling as Alameda makes it 2. That's a great goal. Okay. Not good from us. And we're bottom of the table, which I'd hazard a guess is probably where we're going to be the majority of the season. Well, half an hour in, the good news is that we haven't conceded again. The bad news is that we don't look like scoring in a month of Sundays. Lamb's having a shocker. Powell's having a shocker. Gebbie's having a shocker. Louise can't touch the ball. It's not great. It's not going well. Gebbie down the line to Jean-Baptiste. Baptiste whips it in. Front post. How the have you missed that, Joe? Oh, Joe Powell. It's a brilliant ball in by Baptiste. He can't do any more than that. It's an awful finish. That is a catastrophic finish. Dear me. I'm just going to say, you've been terrible so far. Sort it out. It feels way too early in the season to be doing this, but I'm doing it anyway. We're going a bit gung-ho. I've gone 3 up front, 3 at the back. So Suzuki and Fabio Silva have come on. Off go Jean Baptiste and Joe Powell, who had an absolute shit show. Was awful in the middle of the park. Didn't get hold of the ball whatsoever. Hopefully, we can just hit the ball long, cause them some problems. Corner, Aymar whips it in. Yeah, of course it's a penalty. Obviously it's a penalty. Oh, good. I forgot we got this again. VAR back in the Premier League. I'll sit here and drink my tea while they make a decision. No surprises there. Nolan. up against Adamida. Nolan goes completely the wrong way. It's 3-0 Bournemouth, and it is a welcome humbling on our Premier League bow for Billericay Town. Again, it's the same as always. We've had shots. Look at it. 11 shots. 4 on target. That means 7 of them are off. XG is pretty high. We just don't. That's embarrassing. Graham Gebby playing at 5.9. You, sir, have earned yourself a place on the bench. Congratulations. Well, we're bottom of the table, which I think we may have to be getting used to, sadly. Where should we come back? Shall we come back for... I want to play a few games in the league before we kind of really get back to it. So how about we play... I want to try and stay away from the big teams if we can. Just because we're not going to be able to go toe-to-toe with them for the time being. So let's come back for November. Let's come back for the game against Wolves and against Southampton and see where we're at. Hopefully by then we'll be around about 8 or 9 games into the season. See where we stand. See if we picked up a point by then. After that, I'm not feeling too confident. That game against Burnley, third game in, is going to be huge. I hate saying that. We have to hit the 40-point mark. That's got to be the aim. Not the best of starts towards it. Thanks so much for watching your episode today, everyone. Hope that you have enjoyed it. Of course, if you have, then please drop a like on the episode. Share, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the transfer business in there. Is there anywhere I can improve? I can improve everywhere, but I've got no budget left, so just stuck with what we've got. So don't leave me any things. Just be nice to me. Alright, until then, guys, take care of yourselves. Thank you so much for watching. Stay cool. Bye.